The brain. I'm going to start off with the brain that is the ones with the different colors, so you can see the different parts. You can see that there's a dark red and a dark blue. Here's the central sulcus between the dark red and the dark blue. The red in the front is the frontal lobe. The blue in the back is the parietal lobe. Then here you would have the occipital lobe. And on the sides, you can't really make it out yet, is the temporal lobe. Here it's important because this is the primary motor, primary sensory cortex, and that's what those little lines are. And those are based off of if it's before or after the central sulcus. And those are going to be found on any of the brains that we look at today, but it's really easy to see on this brain right here because it's already in different colors. But when we look at it and split it into two different parts, again, they're going to be mirror images of each other, but what makes it difficult is if you learn on one side, it's going to be a little bit different on the other side because you're going to remember a pattern where you either go from this side to that side, or you go top to bottom, and then you go down to the structures at the end of the spinal cord. But here, instead of moving towards the center of the page, you're moving away from it. So you're going to be doing things in a mirror image. So when you study it, study both sides. Don't just look at the PowerPoints and look at the review and study one side and not study the other side. But here you can start with the corpus callosum. And only memorize and only go over the parts that are very, very important and in red in the PowerPoints and in red in the review, because those are the ones that I'm requiring you to learn for this class. Everything here has a name, but you don't need to name everything. You're only naming the big structures, like the corpus callosum. Right in the corpus callosum, you'll see here, this is the thalamus. Here's the hypothalamus, and if you go right below the hypothalamus, you're going to see this structure right here. Looks as if it's going to a nerve. And this is the optic nerve, which means that this is going to be the optic chiasm. So the optic chiasm, and if you go behind the optic chiasm, it's the mammillary body. Now if you remember, you learned optic chiasm, mammillary body, you're going to do the mirror image over here, optic chiasm, mammillary body, hypothalamus, thalamus. Here's the pineal gland or the pineal gland. There's the pineal gland on this side. You have the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. Back here is the cerebral aqueduct, fourth ventricle, right there, cerebellum with the white lines that kind of look like leaves or veins of a leaf. The white lines are the arbor vitae. So to go over everything, corpus callosum, thalamus, hypothalamus, optic chiasm, mammillary body, pineal gland, midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, cerebral aqueduct, fourth ventricle, cerebellum, arbor vitae. Now, I'm not going to tell you what I'm pointing at. You're going to see if you can come up with it over here. Now let's take a closer look.